Welcome to Ultimate Survival Gear. Today, as you guys can see, I have something yet again from Adidas. Always love the Adidas stuff. Let's open up the box and see what we got. Because these are their tactical boots called GSG 9.4 or 9.4 or 9.4, however you like to pronounce it. Check these out. The very first tactical boots from Adidas that I review on this channel, so I'm definitely very excited. Overall, these are very comfortable, a lot of cushioning, a lot of padding, but keep in mind, with all that padding and cushioning and all the protection that you get in this boot, you also get pretty heavy boot. This is gonna be pretty heavy, I already know, but we're gonna discuss everything in great detail in this review. So if you really are interested in buying these, make sure to stick around. The Amazon link is in the description below, so if you use it, that would be helpful to me to grow this channel. I really would appreciate that. Actually, not just one link, not for Amazon, but also for Adidas website. Sometimes I've noticed that the prices, they can be on a discount, it can be on clearance, so the prices might actually be better on official sites compared to the Amazon. Okay, let's get into the main review. As some of you already know, this review is specifically for my Ultimate Survival Boots section, so not just regular tactical boot, although there is really no such thing as a regular tactical boot. There's like a regular hiking boot or whatever, but as a tactical boot, you already plan to use this boot in your survival situation. Something bad happened and you need to fight, you're in combat, you need to walk for extended periods of time, you need to run, you need to climb, do whatever is necessary. That entails your survival. Would this be good for your survival? Well, how do we make the judgment? We make the judgment based on 8 different criteria. Let's begin. Criteria number 1, of course, comfort level, one of the more important ones. And in order to test the comfort level of all the boots and shoes that I review on this channel, I do a 3-mile run and then a 5-mile walk, no stops, no pauses in between, and then I continue wearing the shoes or boots for the rest of the day, so the total wear time is about 8 hours. Okay. So, this, as you would imagine, was a little bit hard to run in these boots because of the extra weight. Let's start with the weight. All right, where's my scales? See, I got them over here. Now, this is size 10, and this is definitely going to be over 20 ounce, which is a golden mark for a mid-size boot. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be over 25 ounce. I am thinking this would be somewhere around 31.5 ounce. All right, let's see if I'm correct. Let's see if I guessed it correctly. 31.5, that's what I think. Wow. Actually, I gave it way too much. Let's see. You didn't see on the camera. There you go. 23. All right, so not even close. 23. Okay, 23 is not bad. I mean, it feels pretty heavy, but 23 is not bad. For a mid-size boot, which this is it, this is not a full size, this is mid-size, it's definitely on the heavier side, because like I said, you were looking for that 20 ounce gold mark. If it's less than 20 ounce, hell, great, way better, right? If it's over 20 ounce by a little bit, not a big deal. By 3 ounce, not a big deal, but keep in mind you are getting into that heavyweight category. So if you are planning to wear these boots full day, if you're getting them for work, 8-hour shifts, you're gonna feel them. Definitely. The weight you definitely gonna feel. Okay, let's move on the brighter side of things. All right, yes, they're heavy, but what are the other things that actually contribute to the comfort level? Well, flexibility of the outsole is one of those things. And check this out. Here, it actually is definitely flexible enough to be comfortable, as you can see, and it creases in the right spots. And it's very soft. Overall, I mean, there's so much padding in this boot. It's just unbelievable. Look, the tongue is nicely padded. The whole body of the boot is very nicely padded throughout the whole boot, including the toe box. It is very nicely padded. So whenever it comes to padding, if you like a very soft feel in your boot, definitely you're gonna appreciate it. There's plenty of that padding. Let's move on to the inner sole. I'm gonna take it out and I'm gonna show it to you so you can see exactly what it looks like, because this is actually not a regular inner sole. Nope. This is OrthoLite. Yes, I love OrthoLite inner sole. It's very good. It sort of creates that antibacterial qualities, right? So if you are wearing this all day, your feet are sweating, whatever, right? This kind of has that moisture wickering technology that prevents the bacteria from spreading. Also, this is very breathable. Also, as you can see, there's very nice heel bed and a very nice arch support. So overall, this inner sole is actually really, really good. But there's also some additional, as you noticed in the back, some additional padding layers. Check this out. Very nicely padded, very soft and good support. So inner sole wise, fantastic. Whenever it comes to the padding and overall feel, fantastic. The outsole, very flexible, very nice. Comfort level is fantastic, minus the weight. Keep that in mind, because weight definitely impacts the comfort. Okay, let's move on to the criteria number 2. Proofing and protection. Yes, these are waterproof. Great, I love it. It has, you know, whenever it comes to mid-sized boots, I like to see stuff that is waterproof. As you can see, the tongue is gusseted up to all the way up to the full length of the shaft, which is fantastic. And it's total about, let's see, almost 5.5 inches, almost 6 inches. This is excellent for a mid-sized boot. Fantastic waterproofing clearance. So it means that you can step in a puddle that is like 5 inches deep and you're not gonna get wet. Excellent job, Adidas, nailed it. All right, now let's talk about proofing. Obviously, with all that padding, you do have plenty amount of protection. Although this is not a steel or composite toe or anything like that, it's soft, so don't drop anything heavy on your toe, but you do have some protection over here. Obviously, with all this material, you do have plenty of protection in the ankles and in the heel. And obviously from the bottom, your foot is nicely protected with a very high quality, good, really high quality, because it's a very nice hard rubber, which we'll talk about the outsole later. But overall, proofing and protection wise, if that's what you're looking for, if that's your main concern, very good. Okay, let's move on to the criteria number 3, quality and the design features. Now, quality wise, I mean, who doesn't know Adidas, right? Everybody knows Adidas. It's a great brand. I personally like them quite a lot. I have a lot of stuff from Adidas whenever it comes to clothing, whenever it comes to shoes, so whether it's sneakers, whether it's boots. One of my favorite hiking boots out there is from Adidas. Adidas Terex is excellent hiking boot. So Adidas is doing great products, and this is no exception. If you click on the link, Amazon link in the description below, you will see that there's over 100 reviews, almost 5 stars on this boot, so people do like this boot. Literally, the only complaint so far I have is the weight. Now, the design features, usually here I talk about the lacing system. Lacing system here is not my favorite. It's the thin flat strings. Now, usually these thin flat strings are implemented in order to save on weight. Well, yes, that doesn't really help that much here because you have all this padding that makes it into a pretty heavy boot, but whatever. Okay, we have the thin flat strings. I'm not a fan of them, but if you guys don't mind, you guys don't mind. It's not as easy to tighten and to put these boots on and take them off, but again, if you are only doing that twice a day, one time you're putting them on and one time you're taking them off, again, that's not really a big deal. Okay, so let's move on to the criteria number 4, another very important one, outsole traction and stability. So whenever I do my run and my walk, I do it on a variety of different surfaces to test the outsole as much as possible, starting with some asphalt, tarmac, some dry sand, wet sand, dry grass, wet grass, rocky road, trail surface, concrete, and then I go to the rubber. And then marble tile, so plenty of different surfaces. And this outsole is pretty good. It's more on the flatter side. It's more on a, as you can see, it's more on the slippery flatter side, as you can see. So it performs very well on sandy surfaces. It's very good on marble and tile. So if that's what you're looking for, to kind of have that slip resistance, even though these are not exactly advertised as slip resistant, they do have that slip resistant qualities. As you can see, these grooves in between, this is what creates that suction on the flat surfaces. So this performs very well on flat surfaces. The only things that this outsole struggles with is like slippery stuff like wet grass. Because it's for the most part flat slippery, it's kind of slippery on the wet grass. On the wet sand, a little bit slippery too. On the rocky road, it performs fine just because it has plenty of midsole to kind of give you enough of cushioning protection from whatever you're stepping on. But I wish that some of these grooves were a little bit more aggressive, just to have a little bit of better traction on slippery stuff, like again, wet grass. That's really the only thing. Other than that, it's good if you're not planning to use it in, for example, like right here in Florida. If you step outside in the morning, you're walking around on the grass, it's wet from all the moisture, so it's a little bit slippery. This is not going to be very good on it, but everything else, pretty good. Keep that in mind. Okay, let's talk about the criteria number 5 really quickly. Temperature. These are not winter boots. They are not insulated. Can you use them as a winter boot or in the winter? Absolutely. If you implement some insulated socks, especially, you can use them in some pretty cold temperatures. They are waterproof after all. Plenty of clearance for waterproofing, so pretty good. How is this going to perform on snow? Is going to be fine. On ice is going to be very slippery. Keep that in mind, so don't step on ice in these. Although I have to add here that there's really not a lot of stuff that is a regular boot and performs well on the ice per se. Just to kind of throw it out there. Unless you're getting specifically an ice boot with some metal spikes. Alright, that would be the only exception. But let's move on to the criteria number 6, sizing. Yes, these are true to the size, no problems there at all. Let's move on to the criteria number 7, balance of application. So, if this really was your tactical combat survival boot, would this be good? Would this contribute to your survival? I think if you don't mind extra weight, and you want very soft, cushiony feel, and you want decent amount of protection, and you want waterproofing, and yet again you don't mind a little bit of a heavier feel, and there is no wet grass involved, you're really gonna appreciate this. And don't get me wrong, even on the wet grass, it's not like you're gonna be doing figure skating on the wet grass. It's gonna be fine. But if you are running and you need to quickly stop or something like this, the sudden movements, right, then things can kind of throw you off balance, just because there isn't as much of traction as I'd like to see sometimes in more aggressive outsoles. But other than that, if you don't mind, the biggest concern I would say here is the extra weight. If you don't mind that, you're really gonna like this boot. You're really gonna appreciate this boot. And the very last criterion, which is also a huge plus to this boot, is the price. Criterion number 8, the price. $89 currently on Amazon, $89.30. Fantastic price for what you're getting here. Unbelievable price. There's really not a lot of stuff that can compete with this boot. Something like, let me think, Under Armour, Stellar Tech, Under Armour Velsats. That would be something that can compete with this in that price range. Although the newer Velsats that they released, they are in the hundreds. So again, it's a little bit above this price range. In this price range, you can find some baits, but honestly, so far, I have reviewed so many different baits, and it's huge percentage of that stuff I just do not like. That's why you don't see a lot of baits reviews on this channel, just because, I don't know, the comfort level, I can't deal with those boots. I just can't. So if you ask me, in the same price range, baits versus this, I would 100% pick this, because this is just so much more superior. Comfort level, protection, proofing, outsole, really everything. So not a lot of competition at that price range. Another kind of thing that makes you think about this and say, wow, this is actually a pretty good deal. So let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think about this review? What do you think about these boots? If you have any requests for reviews, drop them in the comments below and I will be happy to address them. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. This was Ultimate Survival Gear. I'll see you guys in the next video.